Have you ever wondered how the world might end according to ancient scriptures? It's a question that has sparked the curiosity of humans for centuries, leading to countless interpretations and theories. The apocalypse, a concept so profound and yet so elusive, has been a topic of fascination across cultures and eras. This cataclysmic event, often depicted with an array of extraordinary phenomena, signifies the end of times, a moment of final judgment. Religious texts in particular offer some of the most vivid and thought-provoking depictions of this event. From the eerie horsemen of the apocalypse to the great beast rising from the sea, these narratives have left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. They have shaped our fears, our hopes, and our understanding of the world's ultimate fate. Unraveling these profound narratives is no small task, but the journey promises to be as enlightening as it is intriguing. Today, we delve into the intriguing revelations of John's Apocalypse and Peter's Apocrypha. The book of Revelation, also known as John's Apocalypse, offers a vivid and chilling prophecy. It's a tale of cosmic conflict, a spiritual war echoing through the ages, and it is filled with intricate symbolism and allegorical imagery. A closer look at John's vision reveals a series of major events, each more unsettling than the last. First, we encounter the 7 seals. As each seal is broken, a new judgment is unleashed upon the world. The first 4 seals release the infamous 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They ride on white, red, black, and pale horses, representing conquest, war, famine, and death, respectively. The 5th seal reveals the souls of those martyred for their faith, crying out for justice. The 6th seal triggers great natural disasters, while the 7th seal ushers in 7 trumpets of judgment. As the trumpets sound, the earth suffers more catastrophic events. The last trumpet, however, introduces the beast, a figure of great political and religious power, and the false prophet who deceives humanity into worshiping the beast. These events culminate in the final judgment, where the righteous are rewarded and the wicked are condemned. The old world passes away, making way for a new heaven and a new earth. The book of Revelation is not just a narrative of destruction, but also a hopeful promise of a new beginning. It's important to remember that the symbols and imagery found within its pages are not meant to be taken literally. They are metaphors, representing spiritual truths and realities. Interpretations vary, and while some see it as a roadmap to the end times, others view it as a symbolic depiction of the ongoing struggle between good and evil. John's Apocalypse paints a riveting picture of the end times, but how does it compare to Peter's Apocrypha? Peter's Apocrypha, although not canonized, provides another perspective on the end times. This text, not officially recognized by the Church, delves into a distinct view of what we refer to as the apocalypse. In Peter's account, there's a profound emphasis on the day of the Lord. This day is not marked by a specific date on our calendars, but is described as an unexpected event, a thief in the night, if you will. This concept is mirrored in John's Apocalypse, where the end is also portrayed as an unforeseen and sudden occurrence. However, the Apocrypha of Peter presents a more cataclysmic vision of the end times. The heavens will pass away with a great noise, and the elements will melt with fervent heat. Both the earth and the works that are in it will be burned up. This is a stark contrast to John's Apocalypse, which speaks of seals, trumpets, and bowls, but doesn't present a complete annihilation of the earth and heavens. Yet, in spite of these terrifying portrayals, both texts share a message of hope. After the destruction, a new creation emerges. In John's account, it's the New Jerusalem, a place free from sorrow and death. Peter's Apocrypha, on the other hand, talks about a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness dwells. While the imagery differs, the underlying message remains the same: a promise of renewal after devastation. In comparing these two accounts, one cannot help but notice the differences in the narrative, the imagery, and the metaphors used. Yet, at their core, both Peter's Apocrypha and John's Apocalypse share a common thread. They speak of divine judgment, the destruction of the old, and the birth of the new. Peter's Apocrypha, while different, shares the theme of divine judgment and renewal. But what does this all mean? Let's delve deeper into the implications of these visions in the following scenes. Stay with me as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the apocalypse. A common thread in both revelations is the return of Jesus and the concept of the rapture. The return of Jesus, a fundamental belief held by Christians worldwide, signifies an end to the current era and the commencement of a new divine order. In the context of John's revelation, this return is marked by triumphant symbolism, where Jesus is portrayed as a conquering king. This King of Kings descends from the heavens, leading the heavenly armies to vanquish evil and establish a 1,000-year reign of peace. Contrastingly, Peter's apocryphal texts present a more subdued interpretation. Here, the return of Jesus is not marked by grandeur but by humility and serenity. It is a silent dawn breaking after a long and dark night, a gentle yet profound shift in the spiritual landscape. Now let's talk about the rapture, a concept that has intrigued, inspired, and at times confounded believers. It is the moment when believers are caught up to meet Jesus in the air, a divine intervention that plucks the righteous from the earth before the onset of the Great Tribulation. In John's revelation, the rapture is a dramatic event, an instantaneous mass ascension of believers that leaves the world reeling. Peter's texts, however, offer a different perspective. The rapture is less about physical ascension and more about a spiritual elevation. It is a metaphorical rise above earthly tribulations, a spiritual transformation that shields the righteous from the impending doom. These divergent interpretations of Jesus' return and the rapture underscore the rich tapestry of Christian eschatology. They reflect different facets of the divine intervention, ranging from a triumphant return to a serene dawn, from a dramatic ascension to a transformative elevation. But despite the differences, one thing is certain. The return of Jesus and the rapture are key events in both revelations, signifying a divine intervention in the course of humanity. The apocalypse, as depicted in John's Revelation and Peter's Apocrypha, is a fascinating subject that has captivated the human mind for centuries. Now let's take a step back and reflect on what we've discussed so far. We have delved into the depths of the end times, as conveyed through the vivid and often cryptic imagery of two distinct yet intertwined visions, John's Revelation and Peter's Apocrypha. John's Revelation, steeped in symbolism and prophetic visions, paints a picture of a world on the brink of cataclysmic change. It's a tumultuous narrative, rife with celestial warfare, divine judgment, and ultimately, the promise of a new heaven and earth. In contrast, Peter's Apocrypha presents a more visceral representation of the apocalypse. It gravitates toward the physical calamities that will precede the end, the churning seas, the crumbling mountains, and the consuming fire. Yet it too ends with a hopeful note of renewal and rebirth. These texts, despite their ancient origins, continue to hold relevance in our world today. They represent humanity's eternal quest for understanding the unknown, our inherent fascination with the concept of the end, and our unending hope for rebirth and renewal in the face of destruction. The impact of these texts on theology cannot be understated. They have shaped and continue to influence interpretations of divine intervention, eschatology, and the nature of good and evil. They've sparked countless debates among scholars, theologians, and believers alike, each seeking to uncover the mysteries and meanings hidden within their lines. Culturally, the apocalypse, as depicted in these texts, has permeated our collective consciousness. It's influenced literature, music, art, and even our everyday language. Phrases like four horsemen of the apocalypse, Armageddon, and the rapture have become common parlance, their origins rooted in these ancient texts. But perhaps the most significant aspect of these apocalyptic visions is the way they force us to confront our own mortality and the transient nature of our world. They remind us of the fragility of our existence and the potential for renewal that lies within destruction. In the grand scheme of things, whether these texts are viewed as literal prophecy or allegorical literature doesn't change their impact. They have left an indelible mark on human thought, influencing our perception of the world and our place within it. So as we wrap up our exploration of the apocalypse, remember this: these texts, in all their mystery and complexity, serve as a testament to humanity's resilience, our capacity for hope in the face of uncertainty, and our relentless pursuit of understanding. Whether you view these texts as literal prophecy or allegorical literature, they undeniably offer a captivating exploration of humanity's end and rebirth.